welcome to our masterclass. I am thrilled that we are doing this in January. We said we were going to do it last year. We said we were going to plan this. And today's session is Thriving with Certainty. Wow, what a topic. What an amazing topic. So just to do a little house cleaning, and I say keeping, not cleaning, but we are cleaning the house as we do this. I'd like to just share with everyone that as the speakers are speaking, please put your Zoom on mute. Use the chat box if you have any questions that may come up when one of our master teachers is sharing. You may have a question that you want to ask that teacher, and we will have a Q&A at the end of our meeting. So therefore, we'll have that in the chat if you could please do so. Each participant will receive an email with the deep dive information from all of our master teachers. On the right of your screen, you'll see Ethan Allen Keene. He is our master teacher on physical fitness and well-being. You'll receive an invitation from Ethan and his PDF file on the activity and getting the activity that he suggests today to you, which is a delight. Of course, I'm Maria Flournoy, and I'll be speaking on mindset, certainty or uncertainty, and going to neutrality. You will be receiving an ebook, a recorded meditation from me, and an invitation to our Power Up Your Energy class, which will be on Zoom coming up in February. And that includes a session with me supporting you in your energy work. And we have Ron Flournoy, my beloved husband, who will be speaking on financial well-being and success. Ron will be sharing his 10 hacks for success to make sure that you thrive. You will be receiving his PDF and an invitation to consult with him with a Science of Mind consultation and prayer treatment. And Vandana will be sharing on spiritual certainty through breath work and, of course, yoga movement. And she has for you a discounted session on Reiki or sound healing. You will be receiving her downloaded video, particularly driven towards what we are sharing today. All right. So that's what we're doing today. I just wanted to go over that with you, and we are ready to start. Ethan Allen Keene is a very dear friend of mine and happens to be my personal trainer. I absolutely am in awe with the knowledge and wisdom that he has. I will just tell you that. I adore Ethan's wisdom, depth, and energy. I asked Ethan to join the Masterclass series because of his precise alignment in the wisdom that he shares and how he demonstrates it in his daily life. Ethan is an ANBF Pro Classic physique athlete, nutritional therapist, and entrepreneur. He specializes in helping people transform their bodies and lives by creating intuitive, self-sustaining systems and routines. He developed a holistic philosophy blending physics, quantum mechanics, spiritual laws, evidence-based science, and Eastern practices. He offers masterclasses, lifting clinics, and deeply transformative one-on-one educational training. He also combines creativity, discipline, and an extensive background in music and the piano. And I will share with you, I went to one of Ethan's concerts, and several of us did, and was blown away with the talent. So will you welcome with me, Ethan Allen Keene?
Hey. Thank you so much. That was such a generous, and I'm very excited to be here. And I would also just like to thank Maria for putting this on and express a lot of gratitude for the opportunity to be here and share what's been on my heart. And that is the goal of today's talk. So I was really debating on creating certainty in your health and fitness. So this is my certainty code, cracking the formula for success in 2025 in your health and fitness. So the goal of this, as you go, I would encourage you to have pen and paper ready because paper doesn't forget. And so when you do this, that way you have questions, whatnot come up throughout the talk, mark them down. I'm not going to get into crazy specifics. However, I would love to go into more specifics during the Q&A time. So feel free to ask for more specific application. And also there will be a workbook guide to go along with this to help you nail down what we're going to go into. So the certainty code. So what is success or creating certainty for success? Is it hitting a big milestone, making a lot of money? Is it achieving a dream physique? It could be, but here's what I have learned personally. Success is not about the one-off win. It's not luck, and it's not chance as much as it may appear so. Success is a formula, and here it is. Success equals preparation meets opportunity. So you might have heard that before, but let's let this sink in for a moment. Because you ever see someone who has an impressive physique and you're like, well, they just got lucky or they just got good genetics. So if we want to be empowered people, we need to take a step back and realize nothing happens by accident. So what is the wisdom to be learned? So preparation here is the work that you put in. It's your training. It's your mindset. It is the structure, the systems. It's what gets you ready and organized, systematized. Opportunity, though, is space. You create it. And this is how you create it: through recovery, through restoration, through nurturing, nutrition. So it is nurturing the environment, nurturing your body, nurturing your mind, nurturing your train, whatever it needs the nurturing, creating space for things and wisdom to take root and grow. So when your preparation, the action systems align with the space, the recovery, which you bring those into balance, success is inevitable to happen. It has to. There is nothing but for it to happen. Because why? You have prepared the way. So here's the thing. It's not about grinding endlessly, though. I think that's what people get stuck in the preparation mode. It's about building something that is self-sustaining, four-dimensional, right? So your goal here is to create a system in your health and fitness so that you can just flow with your life and not have this constant stop, go, stop, go. Because remember, if that is the approach you take, that is what you are preparing for. Stop and go, because that is what you're doing. So let's break down this formula a little further. Let's talk about preparation here. So this is where most people put their energy. And it makes sense because it's what you see. There are things that you do. It is the technique. It is your form. It is your process. So it's all the reps in the gym. It's the discipline that you practice. So the discipling of yourself. And it's the habits. That is how you build it. The habits are your mental structure. They're your physical structure. So the structure matters. But preparation is not about grinding. It's about making intentional actions. If you're building a house, you don't just throw bricks together and hope they stay, right? So you start with a plan, a blueprint. The same goes for your life and your health. You prepare it by aligning your training, your mindset to that which you want to do in life or how you want to look. So what are you preparing for right now? Take a moment and think. Are your actions aligned with your goals, or are you just taking action? Are you busy, or are you taking action? There's a difference. So are you just throwing it at random, or does it align? And if you don't know, are you seeking the alignment? So when you prepare with clarity, your actions become extremely focused and results happen rapidly, right? People think change is slow. Change is only as slow as your ability to handle it or your determination to be decisive about the change. Change only takes long because you hold on to what you didn't realize you needed to be decisive about. So now let's go into opportunity. Opportunity is part of that success that most people overlook. They're always busy preparing, not looking for opportunity, creating opportunity. It's not something that just happened. It's something you intentionally create. So this the balance to the preparation. Your opportunity is the nurturing your environment, your body with the nutrition, the way you treat yourself, the way you take care of yourself, making sure that you are able to keep seeing progression. If there's no progression, then we are out of balance. So that is the opportunity. So how in your life are you creating that space? Are you creating an opportunity to win in your health and fitness? Are you showing up to the gym? Do you have a space to train? Do you have a plan in place with the preparation? Do you have opportunities to sleep appropriately, to recover so your body can adapt, right? So is there this balance? So let's now begin to focus on putting this together. So think about people you admire. So we are kind of making this toward the beginning. Those who seem to be thriving effortlessly, what makes them different? This is the question I began to ask, because I was like, clearly it cannot be this hard all the time. So it can't be luck and it can't be just happenstance, right? Because that doesn't feel like there's a way to then master this. So what they have done is created systems for their success. They don't grind endlessly, but you can think about a gardener and permaculture. If you've never heard about those things, go look them up. So we can go into that further. So in fitness, this means you have a program that works with you and you're able to sustain it. Are you evaluating that your training is bringing you to the outcomes you desire, or are they not? And are you giving yourself time to recover so that you feel very inspired, not motivated, to do the things that are aligned? And when you find yourself needing to be motivated, I would argue you're not aligned, because you're not clear about, you need more clarity, and then you'll have inspiration. So your goals are to constantly evaluate every step, but it's to get something sustaining and then perfect it over time. So think of it like planting the seed. Once you plant it, you just keep nurturing it. You don't need to keep replanting and re-preparing the soil unless you keep changing your mind about where you want to go, which is fine. You can do that. So as you begin to nurture that seed that you planted, you create more systems on top of it. And this is how you create these layered effects that then cement these things in, so that you have the certainty that you will end up right where you desire in your health and fitness, thriving, energetic, however that wants to be. So how does this play out now in 2025? This means getting really clear about your blueprint and mastering this formula: preparation, meeting opportunity, and how I'm constantly going back to how am I preparing? Because what will happen when you have the preparation and opportunity, what ends up happening? It's called the preparation. How did Jesus come forth? John the Baptist prepared the way. So like how does John Summit show up on the stage? When the stage is prepared for him to show up and perform. Earth, Wind, and Fire, are they showing up somewhere that's not prepared for them? Yeah. So if something's not showing up in your life, how are you preparing and creating an opportunity for that thing to show up in your life, right? And so remember, success is not about grinding. It's about sustainability. It's about building once and nurturing what you've built. When you create rhythm and flow in your life, success is only inevitable and will continue. Because how many times, if you ever like look into permaculture, I grew up in the Midwest, so we had gardens and stuff. But when you plant things that nurture each other in proximity to each other, all you have to do is just come back and harvest, and do a little maintenance work. You can harvest over 10-fold, 100-fold. Wait, what? You sow once, reap 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100-fold. And if you aren't in your health and fitness, then your systems are not regenerative, restorative, or there's a process. And this is where you got to think in forward. Training, nutrition, mindset, recovery. Training, mindset, are structure. The way you think about the way you train, what you do with what you think, create the opportunity for what? The energy that you experience internally and the energy you experience externally, 2 and 4. Nutrition, which feeds your primal energy, right? And then your recovery, which feeds your primal energy, and nutrition, which is what? It's how you express your energy, because as you nurture with food, you're able to then right? And what does rest do? It's recovery for the mind. So take those things in consideration because now you'll be balanced. And that's how, in my mind, when you create two or more gathered in my name, you create two or more gathered in your health and fitness. And that way you create an opportunity for something really magical to happen this year in your health and fitness because anything is possible. But first, you must believe it is possible. So nail down that blueprint and clarify what you want to accomplish and think about how you're preparing training mindset and creating opportunities, recovery, and nutrition. So if you'd like more specific details about this process and the way I go about using this formula to help um, enhance your life, I'd love to connect with you. So during the Q&A time that we have toward the end, I can dive deeper into questions specifically about how does that play out and maybe specific actions you take. And as I mentioned, the guide here will help you begin to clarify those specifics for you so you can have those specifics and not have to worry about figuring it out on your own. All right. So this is your year. And I want you to see it that way. 2025, the year of 9, creating two. You have two twos, which is two mother nurturing energies. You have a 0, infinite potential, and a decision with the 5, and connect that together. And that is your divine space to nurture wisdom this year in your health and fitness. So really kind of run with that and or as far as you want to. Introduce our next speaker. So it is an absolute honor here. I'm going to introduce Maria, the host. She is truly remarkable. She is one of my personal mentors and has helped me so much with opening up my eyes to a lot of realizations about how the flow and the energy behind things. She has 6 thriving businesses under her belt. She's an entrepreneurial at heart and a creative. She's nothing short but inspiring. So she's an accomplished interior designer. She is a published author. She loves to blend spirituality into her design work and has worked closely with modern mystics like Tolchard and Dr. Cam Yuen. So her re-inspirement phase, aka retirement phase, coming out of her inspirement phase, she continues to uplift others and is putting on opportunities like this with her We Network and also started a magazine. So she is here to empower you and support you however you can, and her heart is huge. So everyone, let's welcome Maria.
Knowing that the habits that we all have, because we all have habits, are a practice that we do to get somewhere. Would you not all agree that we are practicing to get somewhere? So the topic of certainty is one that is absolutely one that is close to my heart. Uh, so my practice with certainty and many things I do in life is to be able to bridge energy with my visuals. And so we know, many of us know that our brain is constantly creating images throughout the day. How many hundreds of images that your brain creates, you may not know because a lot of it is unconscious. So what typically happens is the neurons are being fired, and when there is something that is strong enough to catch your attention, that image will be pulled back and brought to the surface. And along with that image, guess what? You'll start experiencing sensations, emotions. You may have thoughts about that image. So there's no way that we can get around the use of images because our brain's doing it automatically. Now, in your packet that you're going to be getting, because you know I am have been in the past a doubting Thomas, so I have to have proof. So I back everything that I say and do with the scientific proof, and you'll be receiving all of that because if you're like me, you want to make sure that whatever is being shared with you is truth. And so, what is truth? Let's go to that. I'm going to start with that. Truth is something that is always true no matter what. Would you agree with me? It's always true no matter what. So, the truth of your being is always true no matter what. You can't get out of the truth of who you are. You may be searching, who am I? But that doesn't matter. The truth of your being is always there. That is truth. And your being is so much more than our physicality, what we do, our jobs, or our businesses. We are so much more than our emotions and our thoughts. We have thoughts, we have emotions, right? We have a physical body. We take care of our thoughts and our emotions. We take care of our physical body. But how can we be in a place of certainty? And then actually the question should be, why would we choose to be in a place of certainty versus uncertainty? Certainty actually arises from being neutral. That means no judgments, no duality, no attachments to any outcomes. Believe it or not, certainty drives us to that state of neutrality. Uncertainty thrives on fear, doubt, emotional attachments, which seem to disrupt our flow of life. When we are in a state of neutrality, it allows us to release the resistance and open ourselves to infinite possibilities. Now, if this is getting too deep, which I don't think it is, I think that many of us get this. If this is getting deep, it's all explained to you in the packet that you're going to get. But let's just do have an example. Let's just say I want you to imagine that there are two runners. Okay, one runner happens to be an experienced runner, and there's this race, and he's won all kinds of medals. As a matter of fact, in 2009, he won. He had the fastest. He won. I think it was the 100-meter race, and went beyond what anybody ever did. His name is Usain Bolt. He's from Jamaica. So let's just say he's in this race with this unknown runner. The unknown runner has never run in a race before. Never. Now, you know, Usain Bolt has the memory or the images of running. He has the memory of the sensation of when the gun is shot off and he's starting to run. He knows what it feels like running through and making it at the end, right? He has those memories, those images. He sees the crowd. So now the other gentleman has never been in a race before, but he has spent every day for the past year practicing imagination on him winning this race, which means he closed his eyes and he imagined getting into the race. He imagined the crowds. He started feeling the sensation of excitement. He actually was hearing in his imagination the crowds roaring, and he saw himself win the race. Okay. Who do you think has the better chance of winning the race? Just curious. Well, you don't have to answer me because we all know that the answer is they both have a great shot of winning this race. So this is just an example of how powerful your mind is, how powerful a practice can be, because that's what today is about. It's introducing different practices to you so that you can support yourself in thriving in 2025 without having any resistance. When we come from that place of neutrality, we are in that state of neutrality. Therefore, we are the awareness being neutral to whatever is going on. From that state of being, we are able to choose, do I want to react or respond? Think about how that would change your life if you were in a constant state of certainty. So, what gets in our way from being certain? It's this human condition is such an interesting package. One of the things that get in the way of us being certain, knowing our truth, is the mind chatter. We all have it, it's there. Could you imagine coming from a place in life where the stillness and silence was 95% of how you were expressing yourself? Wouldn't that be lovely? Let's just try something real quick right now. Go with me on this one. I want you to imagine that you can go into the center of your head. You can keep your eyes closed or open. It doesn't even matter. I want you to try, or I want you to imagine. If you can't imagine, then just pretend that you can imagine that you're going inside the center of your head, and all of a sudden there's this great big room. Now, in that room, you could paint the walls any color. The floors can be carpeted or tile. I want you to just imagine this 3D room that you can walk around, and all of a sudden, you notice on one wall there's a switch, and the switch says on or off. and switches on. Now, just in your imagination, just turn the switch off. That's right, just turn it off. And I want you to notice that that switch was the mind chatter switch. And just notice with your eyes open if you're in the silence, if it's quiet. Nod your head if you're feeling this quietness or this stillness. Okay, good. So that was kind of interesting. Simple little practice that you can do that will bring you right to that place of neutrality, because when you're in the stillness, you are not judging, you are not mind chattering. Just go back to that switch, make sure it's turned off. You can turn it on anytime you want. Use that as a tool to bring you to certainty. Because when you are in your flow, when you are in the vortex of your being, doing whatever it is that you want to do, whether you are at the gym, whether you're doing yoga, whether you are creating a business, whether you are experiencing your friends, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, wouldn't it be lovely if you always came from this place of certainty? Indeed, it would be an amazing world not to have the mind chatter. And that mind chatter is what breeds the uncertainty, which, is doubt and fear. Now, looking at my time, okay, I have a few more minutes. I just want to share with everyone that back when COVID was going on, and all of you know that COVID was had a morphic field. So we have our field, our individual field, and then the morphic field of the collective consciousness. So during COVID, there was a fear energy. Why was there a fear energy? Because none of us knew what the heck to do. I mean, this virus, we were getting all kinds of information. We're locked up. We can't go to work. You would agree with me. There was a fear energy. And that the virus itself, what I would consider fear was the virus that spread, not necessarily COVID. Fear was spreading. Now, I personally had to leave my interior design business open because it was one of the essential businesses, I guess, because everybody was redoing their homes. And so not only was my business operating, but April and I were commissioned to do this online magazine where we interviewed businesses, where we were bringing businesses together. We created a Facebook group. We had, in less than a month, we had 2,000 members. It's crazy. It was crazy. So we kind of worked, and we worked from morning till night. The only way I got through it was I listened to Dr. Cam Ewan saying, if you're going to thrive through COVID, you must come from a place of certainty. And that, to me, was a wake-up call. It was a big wake-up call, because I recognized whatever I needed, whatever tools I needed to grab, whatever I needed to practice, I wanted to make sure that I was certain. So for 3 months, it seemed like I worked day and night. I had enough energy, like I had more than enough energy. However that happened, I was certain I was going to get it done. I was going to uplift this business community, and it did happen. I've experienced it over and over again. Using your visuals will certainly support your certainty in every way. So tomorrow, you will be receiving an email with everybody's packets. You'll have the ebook from me, an invitation to learn more of these energy tools that are pretty amazing. And that would be later on in February, towards the end of February, another Zoom gathering. And I invite you to really explore this and enjoy it. So that's what I have to say about certainty. Actually, there's a lot more, but my time is up, and I thank you for listening. I want to introduce to you our next speaker. Oh, well, our next speaker is somebody very dear and close to me. It is my beloved husband, Ron. And Ron actually is one of the most amazing guys. He's my favorite guy, so you know. He's not only my husband, he's been my business partner for over 32 years and supported me in every endeavor that we've done. He is one of those gentle men that is gentle and kind, and his wisdom exceeds anyone's wisdom that I've ever known. Ron has been selected to be a master teacher because of his knowledge in the business community. He's been the CEO and CFO of all of our businesses. He has managed and directed all the finances in our businesses so that when we made a chunk of money, we invested in another business. So his genius brain fascinates me. I That's why he was chosen to be a master teacher. The list goes on, but I would love to introduce to you Ron. So he's going to share his financial knowledge that I want you to know that he uses it all the time. He tweaked it a little bit, but he's got the 10 hacks for 2025. So please welcome Ron Flournoy.
All of us live life, and one of the important segments of our life is our financial ability to live, to pay, to build for the future. And one of the most important, if not the most important factor in that is certainty. The entire subject of this master class, because there's two strategies that you can have. One is certainty. I'm certain that I can do it. And one is hope. And I've spent 35, 40 years teaching people that hope is not a good business strategy. No, it's not a good business. It's not a good gym strategy. I hope that I can lift that. You got to go into it with a certainty, with a knowing. I start out in the morning listening to Abraham Hicks, the song, I Can Do It. I can do it. And when we go into our life that way, it makes all the difference in the world when we have that certainty. So no outcome is guaranteed. But when we put certainty in there as our strategy, it enhances our ability to achieve success because we get focus, we get consistent efforts, we get better resilience against the uncertainties that are out there. So I got 10 habits. I know we call them hacks, but they're really habits. Number one is the one that caused the most, I'm going to call it discussion between Maria and I. Number one is live below your means. That kind of brought up a lot of discussion. Why can't we do this and why can't we do that? Because living below your means that you're not spending all your money. It means that you're paying yourself. It means that you're putting some for the future to build and invest in your future self while you're taking care of your present self. Living below your means is if you're not going to live below your means, you're not going to have any type of financial strategy that's effective. You know, my son, when he was 18, joined the military, joined the Navy. And after camp, he called me up on his first station and said, Dad, I want to buy a new truck. Well, I know what he made. I said, well, I don't think that's a good idea. And he said, well, no, I want to buy it because I can afford it. And I said, what makes you think you can afford it? And he said, because the salesman told me I could. So we're going to have all kind of people out there telling us what our means are. But we know, and we have to be certain of it, and we have to be certain that we have that plan based on the fact that we're going to live below the means, and then that opens up every other good habit. It's kind of like going to the gym. Well, the first thing is you got to get to the gym. So the second is to align our goal with our core values. We have to be conscious and know what our core value is, what our core values are. Consciousness is our most important habit in consistency and certainty is knowing our core values. In all of our restaurants and our businesses, we always made sure that every employee knew what our value is. Our value was always to have clients who would see us and come up to us in the community, not walk away from us. That grocery store that we ran into them, that was the most important thing. That we do it right. And that core value when we're investing, that we're investing in investments that match our value. And when we're doing that, as we move to doing that, we do that with a vision that is based on our core values, but a vision that is saying, this is what my life next week, next month, next year, next decade, this is what my life looks like in investment, in retirement. Because isn't that what it's all about? Is that we want to be able to live comfortably next week, next month. We want to know with certainty that we can pay the mortgage or the rent, that we can buy groceries. We want to, in our retirement, be certain that we can live, enjoy our life, and know that every expense is being paid. Not hoping that I can do that in retirement, not hoping that I can do that next week, but being certain of it. And that's the whole basis of it. So we build a vision. We can make vision boards. My wife is the greatest in the world about making vision boards. And we've done it for 30 something years. When we have that vision. But the important is not just clipping little things out of magazine. It is building a vision that you're willing to walk into, that you're willing to live, that you're willing to be certain about it, that that's your life, that's your story. And you start telling that story with certainty, not telling the old story, not telling a story of hope, but a certain of, if your vision is a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. I am. This is who I am. This is what I am. You tell it, you live it. Okay? You need to build an emergency fund. 3 months, 6 months. You know, I tell young people, when you get to the point where you can know that you can pay your rent and live for the next 6 months, even if you lose your job, because things happen in life, challenges come up in life. But when you get to that point, the pressure goes away. You got to build that fund. That's where you pay for yourself. You can only do that if you have lived below your means, because that gets financed out of your means. Right. So you got to pay yourself first. People come to you wanting. Anybody ever have anybody come to you wanting? Wives, kids, ourselves, charities, a lot of good things. But you got to pay yourself first. You come first. You got to state with your financial plan that you're certain about, because you're certain that you're going to put yourself first. You're certain that you're going to put your strategy first, because you're certain that next year you're going to have a 6 month fund. That next year and the year after and next decade, you're going to have this money that is making money and building towards your retirement. Yeah.
And now for our final master teacher today, I am thrilled to introduce you to Vandana Dillon, a personal friend of mine who is a burst of sunshine wherever she goes and a delight to enjoy conversations with. She has a wealth of knowledge in Reiki, yoga, and being an empowered woman. Vandana was selected to be the master teacher of this series because of her knowledge that goes into depth with how to be certain within your being on a spiritual level. She is a spiritual leader in the Tampa Bay yoga community. She's led students of all walks of life on the path of yoga and service. Vandana is the founder and CEO of the St. Pete Yoga Festival held at the historic Sunken Gardens. We just had completed one this past December that was absolutely amazing, just with the yoga instructors, different speakers, vendors. It was just a delight, a delight. Vandana also has her expertise in yoga with the Awaken to Yoga enterprise that she has. She was most recently named amongst the top 10 yoga studios in Tampa Bay from the Best of the Bay and Creative Wellbeing. So please enjoy, and let's give Vandana a warm welcome. Thank you so much for being here, my dear.
Yay. Wow, what a great introduction. Can you just like come with me and introduce me everywhere I go?
Absolutely. It would be mine to.
I just walk in like, woo, yeah. No, thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here. I was like so honored and so grateful that you did reach out to me. And of course, I said yes. And then just to be able to be here with amongst you masters, because I have been also following you, and you've been my mentors, Ron and Maria. So, and I'm just so happy to meet Ethan. I mean, I've met him before in person, but just to, even to work in this way together is really nice. And knowing that we both come from, the health background. And so I just wanted to, I'm going to teach us all a pranayama tool, which is a breathwork tool. But I just wanted to first just give an overview, because as I was listening to everybody and absorbing all the wisdom everybody has, um, some of the things that really struck me is the habits of creating habits. I know that when I do teach meditation, I teach my teacher, my spiritual teacher is Mata Amritanandamai Devi, and she's known as Amma. She's the hugging saint in India. And I teach her form of meditation, which is called I Am, Integrated Amitra Meditation Technique. And one of the things that we do, and I teach this all over the country when she comes to America from India, she lives in India, is we offer, we're giving you a 21-day free trial. Please do this 21 days in a row, so that you do create a habit, so that it becomes second nature. It becomes like, instead of thinking, oh, I have to do this, pretty soon, and this happens much quicker than 21 days, you start to feel like, I can't not do this. Like, it's a part of my life. Like, I feel so much better doing this. And I'm sure Ethan would agree. Like, that's why he's so fit and everything, is because he's found his way. And so he can't not work out. He cannot, right? Is that right? Like, it doesn't work. That's your system that works for you. And so I just wanted to reiterate that. And, also Ron brought up the habits too. I think Maria did too. So, like, how important it is to create these healthy habits and, eliminate the ones that are not as healthy. And, we can always drop a habit and add a healthy habit in there. So, one of the things that I have done is created what I call Self-Care Sunday. So it becomes just, because it sounds kind of nice, doesn't it? Self-Care Sunday. Like, it becomes something that you give to yourself every Sunday. So I know some of us are going to like a spiritual house, gathering, and we're doing that. We're feeding ourselves, we're feeding our souls, right? And then maybe you do a meditation that day, or a yoga class, or you go for a walk in nature, or you go watch the sunset in person, or whatever that is, some way that you're taking care of yourself. And it's not about other people. It just becomes how you start to see yourself And like, I need to take care of myself because, of course, just like they say on the airplanes, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. And I know that, you know, sorry, I know you're in the healing community as well. And it's like, we can get burnt out, right, as healers. So it is so important, and, you know, to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. You're healing yourself first, and then you're taking care of other people. So one of the things that I thought, so yoga and meditation, obviously, for me, it's the movement. And when Ethan was talking about alignment and opportunity, I was like, yes, because I know that I love yoga. I'm as enthusiastic about yoga as Ethan is about working out. So that becomes my, you know, it becomes my activity. Now, I do want to work out as well. It's going to take a little bit more for me to do that. But because I love yoga so much, it makes it easier for me to make that a habit, right? And then, of course, I teach it, so that also helps it. But I have to also maintain my own practice. I can't just be a teacher. I have to do my own practice too. So that's important. And Ethan's nodding because he knows he has to do his own workout. You know, he can't just train people all the time. So what I wanted to share today with you is it's pranayama, which is life force control, and it's breath work. So this would be found in a yoga class. A lot of times you're just breathing, like diaphragmatic breath, you're breathing. In fact, you can just place your hand on your belly right now. And as you take a deep breath in, let's all do that. Take a deep breath in. Notice the belly expands like a balloon. And as you exhale, it deflates like a balloon. So as you inhale, and in yoga, we're always using these just diaphragmatic breath. But there's other kinds of breath work. And one that came up for me when I was talking to Maria about certainty is actually called Nadi Shodhana. And some of you may even know this already, but so nadis are what we have in the body. We have 72,000 of them. They're nerve endings. They're the energetic part of our body. So it's not like you know, would open up your arm and there'd be the nadis. No, you don't see them. They're energetic. But we have the two main ways that our life force energy flow up are the Ida and the Pingala, which is the two, and I don't have a, you know what, I didn't include that. I was going to include a picture that showed that the Ida and the Pingala. And for normal, regular activities, it's fine if we just keep that balanced, or if we just breathe normally or whatever. But if we are trying to create more certainty and deeper meditation practices, and get deeper with your own spiritual practice and come to that place of neutrality, we want to balance the Ida and the Pingala the way that the life force energy flows, so that it's equally, and we're going to do that through both sides of our nose. And then we do what's called the access of the Sushumna. So the Ida and the Pingala, you don't have to remember these, but the Ida, and I'm going to have a video so that people can watch this, and I'll explain it probably better than I am now. And then that creates the ultimate way that it goes right up the center. So the Sushumna, then the life force energy is flowing, and that's when we can get deeper into our meditation. But it's creating that sense of neutrality and certainty, because as Marie was saying, that certainty comes out of neutrality. So we're not, you know, super excited, and we're not, you know, it's like it's a neutral feeling, and it's that calmness that we know everything is happening the way it should, which is, you know, a spiritual perspective. I always believe the universe has your back, that everything is operating from, and I see Sari now nodding her head. I love that we're all operating no matter what's happening, whether, you know, even if something that we see as bad, but actually we're just labeling that as bad, but it might just be a new opportunity for growth, redirection, or just a struggle to make us go deeper into our spiritual practice. So we're going to practice, before I run out of time, the Nadi Shodhana. So what you're going to do, you're going to use a mudra, and mudras are hand gestures. This is from yoga. You're going to take your thumb and then your pinky and your ring finger. The other two fingers, your middle finger and your index finger, are going to come down like this. If you can, bring the ring finger and the pinky together. So it's not the most comfortable. I mean, I don't usually just walk around like this. It's not the most comfortable thing, but you want to have these two fingers together. And if you can't do that, you can just use the pinky, but or you can put the pinky down, but it's best if you can keep those two fingers together and then your thumb. And you're using, I know that we're switched around here, you're using your right hand. Does everybody have their right hand? Even if you're left-handed. Okay. So we're going to take that, and what we're going to do is we're going to block off. So this is to create that neutrality. We're going to block off our nose, our right nostril, with our thumb, and then take a deep breath in through the left nostril. Good. Now switch the hand over so that your ring finger is blocking off your left nostril, and you're going to exhale. You notice in the morning, you breathe out of one nostril. If you do that practice, you'll be breathing out of both.
Yes.
I mean, it's so strange that we can change things like that. And they recommend doing it mostly at sunrise and sunset.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I believe that it also strengthens the vagus nerve that
Yes.
controls the whole being of who you are. The vagus nerve is so important to keep it flowing and cleared. So yes. So what we discovered today, I'm going to close this off. We discovered that where you are in life is the perfect place, number one. We all shared the master teachers, which are we are masters in our own rights. We are all masters, by the way, whoever is watching, because every teacher here on this panel believes in supporting you, empowering yourself. You don't need a guru. We do need community. We like to have community and gather, but you've got it all within you. Everything is already there. So building a practice is a good thing. Shifting a practice or eliminating habits and choosing what you want to do is a good thing for you. When you're coming from certainty, you automatically, without a doubt, will be thriving. Simple reminder. I think we all know this. I think everyone who's going to watch this video is going to say, yes, I knew that. But sometimes we like to have community to remind each other. So in a quick blessing prayer, I am just going to close the circle knowing that we got exactly what we needed, that we are all divinely blessed, guarded, protected, that this is the day that we can for sure be certain of the truth of our being, express ourselves, and be able to thrive in 2025, knowing that that is already in existence in the infinite world that there is an infinite potentiality already here for us now. So I thank all of you. We are so grateful. We set this free. We know that you got exactly what you needed. And so it is. I want to also remind you that you will be receiving an email with these fantastic ebooks, videos, master plans from the teachers. And every other month we have a masterclass series with new teachers. I also want to share with you that the masterclass series is brought to you by, I don't know if you can see this, but it is the We magazine, and it is an amazing magazine. This is put together by the We Empower Together Inner Circle members, which Ethan and Vandana and Ron, we're all part of that. You'll see our articles in it, and it's just quite enjoyable. It's a heart-centered group of professional people. The magazine is free. You'll get a copy of it in your inbox, your email box. And we're just so grateful that we are able to do this, actually. We're able to build a heart-centered community amongst professional business people, all walks of life, continues to grow. What a blessing that is. What would you not agree? That is a blessing. So, does anybody have any questions? Because I was looking in the inbox and didn't see any. So, just join in if you have a question or you want to share. If you want to share.
I'm just so grateful. Thank you all so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. The Ron's financial tidbits and Vandana. Is that Vandana? I wish I could be there. I'm in Pennsylvania, so it's pretty cold here, but I wish that I could be there warm and taking one of your classes. And
Oh, that would be great. Do you come back down here or?
every once in a while, but I haven't been there recently.
Oh, okay.
And Ethan, thank you so much. I really appreciate all your information that you gave and hope to see more. So thank you so much, each and every one of you.
Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
Sorry for joining us as well. It's a pleasure to see you, my dear. Absolute joy for me to be seeing you because I know you travel quite a bit and have such an amazing adventure in your life. So we are just thrilled that you are here joining us. And of course, go ahead.
I didn't mean to forget you, Maria.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for presenting and hosting this. I always appreciate everything that you do. You do so much for all of us. Thank you for your love and your support. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It is my great pleasure. And thank you, Ben, for being here. Thank you, all the master teachers, Ron and Vandana. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your wisdom. Please make sure you look at your inbox tomorrow morning so that you'll receive the wonderful videos, PDF files, ebooks. You will have enough information to choose what works for you in creating your certainty. I know that for sure. I am certain of that. So, what a pleasure. We are going to sign off and beautiful. Have an amazing rest of the Saturday. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Enjoy.